This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, all. Now, let us understand what is EBS, what are the modules which are going to come with EBS. And all. Before this EBS, do you all have idea about what is ERP? That is Enterprise Resource Planning. Do you all have idea about what is this Enterprise Resource Planning?
Yes, I do have.
Santosh, James?
Yes, sir. I do have that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we know that Enterprise Resource Planning is a concept actually, which is going to where we are going to organize the complete business information like financials, supply chain management, human resources management, manufacturing management, meaning where enterprise resource planning is a concept where it should allow us to maintain the complete information of our business. But there are so many ERP products which are available in the market, like we have, meaning in short, I can say that an enterprise is an say group of people working together to achieve a common goal. That is an enterprise. So what are the resources required for the enterprise to maintain here is we need uh, uh, finance department, we need manufacturing department, we need procurement department, meaning all these departments are essential. But how do you maintain the data? So normally what we generally do is we use a separate applications to maintain different business information. For financials, we use a different system. For manufacturing, we use a different system. But if I use a different system, what is the drawback here is there is no proper integration and coordination among the people on the departments of our organization. So these based on the concepts of this ERP, some applications have been developed. We call these applications as ERP systems. The well-known ERP systems are Oracle, I'll say Oracle applications. So these are all well-known ERP products, Oracle applications, SAP, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, and here we have Siebel, Microsoft Dynamics, and all. Right. But we are going to discuss about this. So as I told you that an ERP is a product which is going to provide complete business solutions. So what solutions it has to provide? So these ERP products have to provide solutions to maintain your, meaning every ERP product compulsory has to provide the solutions for, must provide the solutions complete business information. These ERP products must provide solutions to maintain complete business ERP business solutions. So what solutions it has to provide? It has to provide solutions for financials, procurement, order management, HRMS, human resources management system, human resources management system, and manufacturing, etc. And what exactly is going to come from these ERP products? As I told you that ERP product must provide the business, provide the solutions to store the complete business information. So what exactly is going to come from, hello? Yeah, what exactly is going to come from these ERP products is, meaning every ERP product is divided into product families. Like what are product families here? Financials, procurement, order management, human resources management system, manufacturing, projects. So these are all nothing but my product families. So every product family is divided into, so ERP product is going to come with product families like financial stream, procurement stream, order management, human resources, manufacturing. And every product family is divided into modules. Every product family is divided into modules. So what is the module here? Meaning you can say product families like your streams like financials, procurement, manufacturing, and every ERP product, meaning these product families further divided into modules. Like what are the modules here? For financials, the modules are GL, AR, AP, cash management. So these are all the modules. Like again, we have different modules for procurement, we have different modules for manufacturing. So in short, I can say that a module is a collection of business functions. A module is a collection of business functions. A module is a collection of business functions. And these modules is a collection of business functions. So what are the business functions here? See, if I talk about GL, creating journals, posting journals, or if you talk about inventory module, create an item, or material transaction, creating material transactions. So these are all the business functions of this module. So the product is divided into product families. The ERP product is divided into product families. A product family is a collection of modules. A module is a collection of business functions. Okay, fine. Now, what is the main advantage of dividing this into product families, modules, and business functions here? Say any company who's going to implement this ERP product need not have to implement all the product families. Meaning they can opt and choose only those product families which are suitable according to their business process or business requirement. And again, for every product family, again, they don't have to implement all the modules. So the client has an option to choose only those modules which are suitable according to their business requirement. So that is the main advantage of dividing the product into product families, modules, and business functions. Now, every ERP product is going to come with its own business process. What is this business process? A business process is set of activities which are required to be performed to complete a particular business task. Meaning a business process is the set of business activities required to complete a particular business task. Say, for example, we wanted to procure the material. Now, can you tell me from where this procurement process is going to start? Meaning a set of activities required to be performed in different modules in order to complete a particular business task. Now, can you tell me if I wanted, or if my company wanted to procure some material, from where this process is going to start? From where the process is going to start? If you look at this generally,
Requisition.
Requisition, any other? You just tell me whatever the documents which are required in any order. I'll correct it. I'll keep all these documents in a proper order. But you just tell me, in order to procure a material, yes, you said requisition is correct. Like what other documents that will be creating?
Purchase orders.
Yes, purchase
Requisitions.
orders. That's good. Requisitions, purchase orders, and
RFQs also.
Quotations.
Quotations.
yes, RFQs, quotations, request for quotations. That's all correct. Now let me put all this in a proper order so that you'll get a clear idea about it. Actually, the process is actually going to start from my inventory module. Why the process? Because as I told you that we are going to create a purchase order or requisition. But who has given the requirement for the purchasing department to purchase the material? Is purchasing department, how they know that which item is required, how much quantity is required, for which location it is required, by when it is required? How my purchasing department knows about all this information? Meaning, until unless there is a requirement in the inventory, the procurement department should not purchase the material. So the actual requirement is going to start from my inventory. So when I'm calling inventory here, meaning in general terms, we call this inventory as our stores, meaning where we are actually going to stock the material. Stores meaning, or it can be my manufacturing plant. Maybe we are going to manufacture the material, meaning according to our applications, an inventory can be our stores, or it can be our manufacturing plant, or it can be our distribution organization, meaning it can be a distribution, meaning where we distribute the material to different stores. Meaning this is the stores, meaning the stores is going to get the material from distribution organization is going to get the material from my manufacturing plant. So according to Oracle, we call all these as my inventory organization. Now this inventory organization, here we are going to maintain some items. I'm just trying to explain you about the business, just to understand what is this business process actually. There are several business processes which are defined in our applications. So here we are going to maintain items, or we in other organizations we call it as parts, or we call it as material. Items, parts, material, meaning the naming convention will be different for different organizations. So here we manufacture the items, or we store the items, or we distribute these parts. Now we start issuing the material. Issue the material. So here we are going to stock the material. We issue the material to departments. So which departments we are going to, meaning whatever the material which is there in my inventory, we use that material either for manufacturing or for sales. Meaning from this inventory, whenever there is a requirement for sales or manufacturing, the material will be issued from this inventory to the concerned departments, like your sales department or manufacturing department. Sales department or manufacturing department. Now, once we issue the material, the stock levels in the inventory will get stock in the inventory will get stock levels in the inventory will get decreased. Meaning at one stage the stock levels are going to become absolutely zero. So is that the inventory manager is going to wait for the stock levels to become zero, then again fill the stocks here, or when we have minimum stock, it's the responsibility of the inventory manager to fill the stocks in our inventory. So it is the responsibility of the inventory manager to closely monitor the stock levels of the different items and make sure that we have sufficient stocks for all the items in our inventory. But inventory cannot, meaning in order to fill the stocks, inventory department has to either produce or purchase. But inventory department directly cannot purchase the material. Inventory department just can give an indent, a purchase indent to purchasing department, so that the purchasing department is going to purchase the material. So how this inventory department is now going to inform the procurement department to purchase the material. So what meaning again, okay, as I told you that stock levels in the inventory will get decreased. At one stage the stock levels are going to become zero. But in my inventory we maintain some thousands of items. We maintain some thousands of items. So how do I know which item stock level is reducing and which stock levels, which item stock levels have become zero and all? So what these inventory people are going to do is they are going to implement planning methods. So one of the planning method is min-max planning. Now I'll discuss more in detail about all these planning methods. I'm just discussing one of the planning method just to understand the business process here. So here min-max planning, meaning this is an items like item 1, item 2. These are all the items which I'm going to stock in my inventory. And for every item, I'm going to define minimum quantity and maximum quantity. And here minimum is 100, maximum is 500. This is minimum is some 20 and maximum is 50. So like this, the minimax parameters are going to be different from one item to another item. Maybe this is 200. Now, as of now, this is my on-hand quantity, OHQ, that is on-hand quantity. Here we have 90, here we have 40, here we have 45. Now, like this inventory manager is going to set up the planning parameters, and regularly they can either schedule or manually run this planning reports. So once they run the planning reports, what happens here? So it is going to identify all the items whose on-hand quantity is less than the minimum quantity and calculates reorder quantity for those items. So what is that reorder quantity here? So for item 1, yes, this on-hand quantity is less than the minimum quantity. We'll calculate reorder quantity. What is reorder quantity? Is maximum minus on-hand quantity, that is 410. So my reorder quantity for this item is 410. And for this item, the requirement will not be created because the on-hand quantity is more than the minimum quantity. So there is no requirement for this item. And here it is 155 is my reorder quantity. So when I run the planning reports, we'll identify all the items whose on-hand quantity is less than the minimum quantity?
So when the item is equal to 100, will it create a order?
No, it should be, meaning my on-hand quantity is less than or less than minimum quantity, only the requirement will be created, not equal to.
Okay.
So when I run the planning reports, this is the requirement which is going to be created and which is transferred into requisition interface table. Meaning here ends the job of inventory manager. So what is the inventory manager job here is, they have to maintain the stocks, they have to issue the stocks to the concerned departments, they have to set up the planning methods, and regularly they have to run the planning reports. Now, if there is any requirement of any item, that all data will be transferred into requisition interface table. So is that, am I going to manually transfer? Am I just going to set up the planning methods and run the planning report? So here application is going to provide you to set up the planning methods and run planning reports. Automatically the data will be transferred into requisition interface table. Meaning requisition interface table is a table which belongs to which department here? Purchasing department. Now I'll highlight this so that you'll understand that this is a module actually. Inventory is a module and this is purchasing module. Now this purchasing department people, they are going to run requisition import program. So what is the routine activity of this purchasing department is, meaning here application is going to provide an import program. We just simply have to run this requisition import program. What does this requisition import program does here is, whatever the data which is there in this requisition, automatically that data will be converted as your requisitions. That data will be converted as your requisitions. Meaning here uh, uh, here this the purchasing department, is it going to create the requisitions manually, or based on the requirement which is coming from inventory, on based on that data it has created the requisitions? So here we have not created the requisitions manually. In these requisitions we have the requirement of these two items here. So this is how the business process, meaning automatically the business information will flow from one module to another module. Meaning what I'm trying to tell you here is, the inventory manager has not communicated anything directly to the purchasing department. So whatever the routine tasks that they have to perform, they only have to perform. The remaining all will be taken care by my application will to forward the data or to transfer the data from inventory to purchasing department. Okay, now this purchasing department is now going to purchase the material. But before purchasing the material, this is the requisition document. But again, since any requirement which is coming from inventory module, is it compulsory to purchase this material, or again do we need an approvals for this purchasing department? So after creating the requisitions, once again I just wanted to confirm with my procurement department or other managers whether this material can be purchased or not. So what we do here is, after creating the requisitions, we are going to submit for approvals. Now once we submit this document for approvals, automatically the information will go to which department here? HRMS department, that is Human Resources Management System. Now when I submit this document for approval, this document is going to be sent to which department here? Human Resources Management Department. And here in HRMS we are going to maintain hierarchies. What hierarchies here? Meaning to approve the document, either we can maintain job hierarchy, position hierarchy, supervisor hierarchy. Like this, we have different hierarchies which I'm going to maintain uh, in HRMS. We are going to maintain these hierarchies. So automatically this meaning whatever the hierarchies that we have created, we'll again discuss how do we maintain these hierarchies. And once these hierarchies are going to hit, the corresponding concerned manager is going to take the decision to purchase the material or not. And once they approve or reject, the document is now going to get approved. The document is now going to get approved. Meaning once the document is approved, meaning we are ready to purchase the material. Now the point is, these items are the items that we are going to purchase. Now what is the next activity here? Now since these are the items that I'm going to purchase regularly, every time when I'm going to purchase the material, do you search for new supplier, or we going for approved suppliers? Now what I mean to tell you is, if there is some material, like say there is some electrical components which are required for your organization and that we purchase regularly, every time when you are going to purchase, are you going to purchase from a new vendor, or we going for an what regular vendor?
Regular vendor.
Regular vendor only. So what we
Yeah.
do is, but there are cases where sometimes we are going to purchase that item for the first time. So if it is a regular item and regularly we are going to purchase, it is going to check for approved supplier list. Approved supplier list. We also call it as ASL, approved supplier list. Now, if you have an approved supplier list, approved supplier meaning is a regular vendor and regularly I'm going to purchase the material from my list. So once the when we have an approved supplier, already you might have made an agreements with the supplier. So you are going, it is going to identify the agreements. Based on the agreements, it is going to create purchase order. Are you getting the point here? Meaning once the document, requisition document got approved, automatically a PO will be created for my document. No, meaning if it is not a regular supplier, meaning first time we are going to purchase this item, then we have to create RFQs, request for quotations. Now against this we receive RFQs we create, sorry, this RFQs will be sent to these RFQs will be printing and sending it to different suppliers. Like we are going to invite these suppliers S1, S2, S3, and we receive the quotations from these suppliers. After receiving the quotations, we are going to perform quote analysis. We are going to perform quote analysis to choose the best quotation. We are going to perform quotation analysis to choose the best quotation. Now, after choosing the best quotation, we are going to approve the quotation. Meaning we are going to choose the best based on the price, terms and conditions, quality, and all this. Approve the quote and then create purchase order. Okay. We created a purchase order, right? Now, these are all the activities, meaning this is all business process. the set of activities required to complete a particular business task. But you see, some